Well, hello, my beautiful Sagittarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Sagittarians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into that and see how you're moving through this time period as well. So let us begin. Also, I want you to be aware that, of course, I do not choose the cards. They pop out as and when my guides want them to. So I have no control over the message. It may not resonate with everyone, but I have to honor each card that comes out, okay? So let's tap into your energy and let's go. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Sagittarians? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? Can you please guide them? What are they meant to be aware of at this time? Can you please show them the way? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. What do my beautiful Sagittarians need to know at this time regarding what they're going through? How are they moving through the other side? What's going on with them? Can you please guide them and shine a light on the path ahead? Interesting. So we have 4 cards for you. Normally I take 3 cards, but my guides have given 4 for you. And already I can see here that you are striving for more independence in your everyday circumstances. I feel like you are learning to, tap into your inner wild. I feel you are trying to focus on being a little bit more mobile when it comes to your everyday circumstances. And what I mean by that is you want more travel, more spontaneity. I feel you have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders, and I can see that that may have weighed you down in some way, but I really get a sense here of you wanting to tap into exploring the world or, your personal circumstances a little bit more. Now, interesting, my guides have asked me to give another card in this position, which is again unusual, but obviously my guides want you to have it. So 2 very spiritual, philosophical cards there at the end. So you're doing a lot of soul searching about, your sense of purpose, about your sense of power and your independence. I really get a sense here that some of you, this is about either living on your own or perhaps going solo when it comes to a career. Some of you may want to travel on your own or explore things. I feel this sense of yearning to get out there and, focus on being a little bit more, I want to keep saying like spontaneous. Okay, so you tend to be a naturally spontaneous type of person. You're a fire element. You are someone who's very passionate, very intense about the world around you. And I feel you always seek this sense of adventure, that inner sparkle. But because it's in the resistance position, I feel a lot of you are feeling that, and this comes up a lot for you beautiful Sagittarians, you may feel in some way that your wings have been clipped, or you may feel that that inner sparkle has somehow diminished. Now, I am being given something straight away before I even start your cards. I'm being given this as a thought form for you. Have you ever thought that your sense of magic and you feeling that the sparkle has in some way been diminished, that you bring the magic, you are the magic? So it can be that you're the magic for other people, and you've been giving a lot of yourself recently, and that's why you feel that discovering the magic in the everyday has somehow plateaued for you, or somehow has felt dampened in some way. So now it's time for you to find the magic for yourself or inside of yourself, so that you can really, change your vibration or tap into that sense of wildness, because it's there, it's all within you. You have that Knight of Wands there, you have the sun energy, and you have the flower moon, okay, which is all about blossoming, it's about adventure, it's about thriving, it's about exciting times, but somehow it's in the resistance position for you at the moment. So it feels like, all that sense of adventure or fun, or, don't get me wrong, I see that you have fun. I see a lot of you have family responsibilities here, but there is this energy here of wanting to just go off and do something different or alternative. And some of you may feel that you are tied to responsibility at this moment in time. And it's really hard to find opportunities for you to go off and, explore yourself and your world in a different sort of mindset. So that's coming out straight away. It may not resonate with all of you, but I have to honor the cards that have popped out there for you. Your first card there is the Black Cat, okay? Now this, of course, is all about independence. It's about you kind of like going off and being very explorative. And it says here, you are strong enough to thrive solo. And it says independence and hidden potential. And because we have all those very fiery, passionate cards in the resistance position, I see that some of you, it's almost like you've lain dormant, or you feel that you've had to kind of like be very practical in life based on your responsibilities at this moment in time, whether that's family, whether that's work. I feel all these things are important to you as well, and they demand your attention. So I'm not saying that you don't want to give your attention and your time and your focus to those areas, but it's about balance. So I feel this is about exploring outside of your usual parameters right now, and there is this thirst kind of rising up within you to want to be a little bit more nomadic, or want to travel more, or see more things, or do more things, or just go off and do something wild and crazy. And for some of you, and this is what I'm being given, so I have to honor what I can see right now, because I'm scrying in the water at the same time as doing a reading. I'm just seeing things like doing wacky things for charity, for example, doing unusual things where you feel like you're also making a difference, but you're doing something wild and crazy. So for example, if there's a charitable company that are doing like a trek to a mountain range, or doing like a parachute jump, or doing something like wild and free and kind of like active, I feel a lot of you are thinking about it right now, or exploring it, or maybe it's something you've been thinking about that's just coming out in the water right now. And of course, some of you may be like, no, not doing that sort of thing. So please apply it to your alternative sense of what you feel is adventure. But I really get with that black cat, some people, they consider black cats unlucky to cross the path, but actually I see them as very lucky indeed. And actually every time I have seen a black cat, or one has crossed my path, I've always had the best of luck. So I actually see here that there is a brighter time for luck for you, but you may have felt that things have been a bit challenging recently, or they haven't been as lucky as they could have been. So you may have felt that somehow things have been delayed for you, or things have been on hold for you, and it's dampened your spirits in some way. And I just see a lot of your energy. It feels like you've either been put on hold, or you are laying dormant, because it's a period where you are putting yourself in review and tapping into your higher self. Big philosophical energy around you right now, and it all extends to this core energy of the freedom to roam, freedom of speech, freedom of mobility, freedom to exert your will whenever you wish. Now, I don't see that anything is holding you back here, apart from your sense of duty. And of course, I feel once you have accomplished your sense of duty, if you can find the balance in the everyday, I definitely see that you will be able to do more exciting things. I mean, you've got the Emperor here. You're a very powerful person. I mean, this card says you're strong enough to thrive solo. So this can indicate that, you know, you're in a period right now where you are doing more things on your own, or realizing your innate sense of power and wisdom. You've actually established quite a lot in your life. You're someone who is a real force to be reckoned with. And the Emperor energy, you know, it is an established card where this is not a gender specific reading. But this card indicates that you have acute wisdom, but also higher self-knowledge. And I see here with the Emperor tends to be quite strict with himself. So I feel some of you have been quite strict to adhere to your sense of duty or your responsibilities. And a lot of them, because that 10 of Pentacles is in the home space, okay? To your family, to the people that you really care about, perhaps some of you to money, security, your job. If you're retired, for example, it can be that you have a responsibility to your family, or you feel that you are very focused on your finances and how much that can afford you to, you know, go out and do wild things, or you're looking at your spending habits, things like that. But I actually see that you are secure in your endeavors, and a lot of this wildness that you're tapping into right now, you can find events that are not expensive or even free. So I feel this is about you kind of connecting to other people, or integrating yourself into different kind of group sets, meeting new people, but also perhaps attending these events or places independently of your friends or your family. So this may not resonate with everyone, I totally get that, but there's something in here in this reading that feels very much like you're focused on that at this time. Now, of course, when you get the Emperor energy, this is a card of you being very reliable. You're someone who has achieved quite a lot. You're headstrong. Whenever you have a task or a responsibility, you don't stop until it's done. And this can indicate that, you know, right now you are focused on your finances, or on your sense of security, or you and your family's sense of security. And when we try really hard to thrive for this sense of security, especially in a world gone crazy right now, it can feel like things are volatile, and we must not force ourselves, but be very diligent about finances and about security and keeping the status quo running smoothly. It can feel like we put ourselves in a bit of a, not trap, but it can indicate that we somehow lock ourselves into a certain structure or a certain cycle of repeat, because the Emperor is all about structure. So for some of you, you may be actually finding that structure will be your friend. It will actually help you create time and a schedule that keeps you doing your sense of responsibilities and duties, whatever they may be. It's going to be different for everybody, but then freeing yourself up to go out there and be more nomadic, travel more. I see a lot of you, and this is something that, if my memory serves me well, back in the yearly reading that I did for 2024 for you all, I did get this sense of like you promising yourself that you're going to travel more. Now, some of you may actually have hit the target on that, but you always carry with you this sense of duty, responsibility, or perhaps some of you work on the go, for example, if you're in a career, but also, you know, some of you, especially if you are retired and you have a family, you may feel that they kind of like are overprotective of you, and you may feel that, you know, you had a whole life before you gave birth to them, or before you kind of like guided them, and you may feel that, you know, sometimes their overprotectedness kind of robs you of your sense of independence. You know, if they're always checking in on you, that's wonderful because they love you, they care about you, but you may feel that the way that they do it somehow is kind of like undermining your sense of independence, that you may feel that sometimes they think that you can't take care of yourself, which absolutely you can. So there may be something in that as well that you are kind of like mulling over or thinking about. But that Emperor energy indicates that you are taking charge of your life, or trying to create some sort of structure in your life right now where you can free yourself up or be more independent. For For some of you, this will extend to your career. If you are in a career, it could be that you want to be your own boss, especially with entrepreneurial energy here. For some of you, you're already your own boss and you're trying to look at the ties that bind you to a schedule. There's certain things that you'll obviously have to do, but then of course you want to have free time, you want to play, you want to go out there and have a lot of fun. So I feel like creating a structure to work at a certain time, whether that's earlier in the day and having the rest of the day free, or having fun during the day and working in the evening, whatever suits you best. Now also for some of you, it could be that you're in a company and you feel that people micromanage you or make you feel that you are somehow meant to be monitored, when actually you're really great at what you do, you're very talented, you're very gifted, and actually you're already established in whatever it is that you do, and you feel that you just want a little bit more freedom or a little bit more trust in the role, and I feel like you're working towards that at this time. But that Emperor energy, it basically means that you're kind of like looking at your life from a bird's eye perspective, taking step backs in order to really gain more knowledge. You can see there that there's wisdom on that shield. There's an owl there. So some of you may also be extra vigilant in your independence. You may be learning new things, putting yourself through some sort of training or learning new skills. I mean, I see a lot of you learning more about yourself, being curious about what the world has to offer, learning through traveling, for example. So some of you may be just soaking up knowledge in history or wanting to go out there and travel so you can go to historical places where there is rich culture and history there. Some of you also are thinking about your family lineage. So you may be looking into your family, your roots, because actually I'm seeing in the water right now a tree, and I'm seeing the top part, but also I'm seeing beneath the soil all the roots. Okay, so I'm seeing that right now. So a lot of you may be contemplating traveling to a place where you either grew up or where there's a lot of history for you, or it could be that your ancestors came from a certain place and you're either, with that Page of Swords, kind of like interested in digging a little bit deeper into the history of who you are and where you are from, or you're actually wanting to travel there so that you can soak up the sense of ancestry and the culture and things like that. So I see a lot of you may even be looking into your family tree. Maybe that's why I'm seeing that tree there. But also I'm being given this sense because, of course, the Emperor is a very deep thinker. And of course, that Page of Swords energy is also very cerebral. So I'm picking up this energy because the way I'm seeing the tree, it's like as above, so below. Okay, that's a very prominent energy where we acknowledge that everything that is within our mind that we get funneled and channeled towards us as an idea, it becomes our reality. Thoughts become things. So I'm seeing this energy, the tree, it's like almost identical in the shape of the roots. Okay, so it feels like on a smaller scale, the roots are like completely identical to the branches of the tree that is above the earth. So I feel this is you kind of tapping into your inner wisdom, but also I feel some of you are testing your manifestation skills to see if you can control, because this is a card sometimes of control, if you can control your thoughts or try to manage any negative thoughts so you can be more positive and empower yourself so that you can manifest all that you desire. So a lot of you may be thinking about manifestation programs or spiritual kind of retreats or spiritual exercises in order to tap into your inner wisdom and like try and control your manifestations to see if they become your reality. So some of you may have been thinking about like the Silver method is what I'm being given right now. Some of you may have been tapping into The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I'm not here to advertise anybody's method, let me just put it that way, but I'm just getting this sense of you being curious about what these methods offer you in terms of manifestation and trying it out for yourself. So some of you may also be doing that right now. Some of you are trying to manifest more money, that's for sure, with that Ten of Pentacles. But also the Ten of Pentacles can indicate security, can indicate that, you know, your health is your wealth, and also your family or your soul tribe, they are the most important people to you. So you do not mind this sense of duty or responsibility because you care so much about them. However, you would like to sort of run off occasionally and have a lot of fun and do your own thing. So I definitely see that you're going to be able to do that, and there's going to be more of that in 2025 is what I see. But I do see you taking charge of your finances, of course. The Ten of Pentacles is more than just finance, though. Ten of Pentacles is about the home life, okay? So it could be that some of you, thanks so much, I'm so grateful. Now, this may not resonate with everyone, okay? Because as I mentioned, the home life, I'm seeing someone fencing, okay? So it could be that you feel that someone tests you when it comes to the home life, tests your patience, or perhaps you feel defensive, or someone has been a bit defensive recently. For some of you, it could be there's someone in your family unit or in your soul tribe who knows your vulnerable areas and kind of like prods them occasionally to get a reaction. So you may be dealing with something like that at this moment in time. I feel this is an energy that will heal, or it's an energy that I feel this person doesn't really mean any harm. I feel this person, you know, they like to test boundaries, okay? And you may feel that. I feel like you may also have been on the receiving end of that, but this is something that will calm over time is what I see there. But ultimately, this card and the Emperor can also be that you're very strong when it comes to your traditions, okay? So you may be looking at that, and I feel that you are kind of keeping tradition alive, but at the same time curious about other ways of doing things. So can you have the best of both worlds? This is a very interesting reading in that it feels like there's a lot going on right now, but it all stems back to this sense of who you are and what you believe in, but also, you know, the responsibilities that you have outside of yourself, and sometimes having to choose between what you feel is right or what you feel is the traditional way of doing something, and then being bold and daring and maverick and going off and doing it in an alternative way, or exploring your freedom a little bit more and going out there and having fun. Because I see a lot of you wanting new adventures. That's what I'm seeing. So it feels very much like you're in a tight structure right now, or some sort of, it feels like you're rooted to the spot in some way. So it could be that you're going through an intense period of healing and growth. And sometimes that gives us a pause in life where we can feel a bit frustrated during periods of intense growth, because it feels like, you know, we're sorting through the mud of life, and it can feel like one day we're on top of things, the next day not so much, and it feels like we're stagnant or stuck. But actually, this is where you are identifying your strengths, your weaknesses, you're healing, you're in a very cathartic phase where you are detoxing, decluttering, but also you're getting a deeper sense of self, of what you love in life, who you are, and what you certainly do not want in life. And it feels like that kind of review period where you take stock of things rather than take action. But with the Emperor there, it feels more now you're taking charge of your life. You're secure to take charge. I feel this is a great explorative time for you. And I mean, the Ten of Pentacles indicates financially you'll be secure. But I feel also that you are making sure that you are financially secure. And, you know, I feel a lot of you right now, your sense of where you belong or your home life is very much at the fore of your thoughts. Some of you may be thinking about moving, or, you know, doing some sort of location, or wanting a new set of scenery. So it can be that you're reviewing where you're at, you feel comfortable. These are cards that indicate that you feel established where you're at, and feel comfortable as well there. You know, the Emperor, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the Emperor has a wonderful set of garments on, and it's very lush and lavish. So it can indicate that, you know, the Emperor fought hard to be where he is right now. And again, not a gender-specific reading, but it's that power of knowing that you accomplished so much. But he's always wearing his suit of armor, which means maybe that's what the connection is with the fencing. It's like this Emperor is ready to defend a position, because, you know, one always remembers that you can accomplish a certain level, but then you must maintain it and sustain it for it to continue and endure. So I feel some of you may be working on that in your life right now, that sense of, your commitments to maintaining the lifestyle that you have right now, and it feels like a lot of pressure, for example. But I feel like you are flexible enough to try new things. The Emperor has that set of armor on so that he can, at a moment's notice, go off and either defend a position or try new things, be explorative, because the universe and the world is an ever-evolving state. And to be stagnant in that would, especially for you, my beautiful Sagittarius, because you are a fire element, it would crush your spirit, or it would make you feel like low energy or tired even, because a lot of you, with these two very fiery cards there, a lot of you are exhausted, or a lot of you feel like you're running on empty right now, or you feel that something happened in your life where you got very strict with yourself, or you've reached a certain level in your life where you feel like, well, what's next? And it can kind of make you feel a little bit unmotivated or a little bit stuck whilst you contemplate what is next, or you contemplate the next kind of adventure. Now, your next card, we have Flowing Moon, and I thought it was Flower Moon. It's actually Flowing Moon. So interesting, the Flower Moon is all about romance. Maybe you did actually get that, did you? No. So let me just see here as well. There is a Flower Moon in there. No, I'm not sure why that's coming up, but Flower Moon is all about love. Okay, so for some of you, it could be, because I'm getting that energy and I mentioned it earlier, it could be that you feel, especially if you're single, that love is non-existent for you right now, that you would like to find a partner. I definitely see that right now you're focusing on yourself. Is what I see there, and I do see that you will attract a new person. If you are looking for love, I see you talking to someone new that will develop into a high-level commitment as you move into 2025, okay? But I also see that some of you may actually meet a fling first, or have a flirtation first before you meet your high-level commitment, okay? So that's coming through there. But ultimately, the Flower Moon is to romance your life a little bit more. It is to recognize that you're blossoming. And in order to blossom, you have to start as that seed where you are planted in the soil. You're planted in the earth. And you have, the richest earth possible, because you've done a lot of soul work there. The Ten of Pentacles is the richest earth card, so it can indicate that you've planted seeds in really rich soil, and that you've done a lot of spiritual development work, and now you're blossoming into the person that you are always meant to be. But you may be going through some growing pains, and that's when we start to sort of push through that in order to really get the best out of life in general. But you actually got the Flowing Moon, so it's in the resistance position. So again, remember, the state of life is to be in the flow, and of course it's in the resistance position, so you may feel that right now things are stagnant, or you feel there's no opportunity to be in the flow, or you're just kind of like doing life. It's a lot. You may feel at capacity, you may feel that you've got so much on your plate, and that you have to keep maintaining that it's hard to find time for you to go out there and be in the flow. You're in the flow of other aspects of life, but if you do one thing over and over and over and over again all the time and nothing else, it can make you feel a little bit tired, lethargic, sometimes apathetic. And some of you may have felt like you've been like doing life and being on autopilot, and it's just the same thing from one day to the next. But I also want you to be aware, especially since this card is all about your dreams and your goals, and it's in the resistance position. A lot of you are working really hard, or taking charge and pushing on through to make your dreams become a reality. And I definitely see that they are, okay? That's why I'm being given as above, so below. Thoughts become things. It always starts with a thought. And I feel that you are manifesting to a high degree right now, but also you're taking charge of your life and you're making things happen. You're an action-oriented person. And I feel like you're like holding yourself to higher standards. You're a little bit hard on yourself. You tend to pressurize yourself a little bit. And I feel like you're not the sort of person who sits there and coasts, okay? But it's almost like if you've finished your to-do list, this is the energy that I'm being given, if you finish your to-do list, rather than go off and have a little bit of fun or do something a little bit nomadic for yourself, I feel like you kind of like add a few more things you could just put on your to-do list. It's like, oh, I've got a little bit more time. Maybe I should do that, that, and that, and get that off my to-do list as well. And then it's a never-ending cycle of a to-do list. And I feel, it's time for you to kick back, relax, and just open up to a little bit more fun. Okay, so we do have your dreams are beginning to take shape, effortless movement and allowing. Now this is effort. Okay, these cards are effort. 10 of Pentacles, the Emperor energy. It is about taking charge. It's about movement. It's effort. But I feel that things are going to get easier for you. And I do see that whatever it is that is your goal, your dream, will become your reality. I feel like you're going to be very impressed with yourself that these things are materializing for you. And I feel like you will be in the flow. And thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Now, I just heard in the pink. Random. I know this is a flowering moon and there's pink on that card. I'm going to have to look up what the saying in the pink means, but I'm getting a sense of joy and happiness in the pink. I'm being given an energy. There's a flush on the cheeks in the pink. So it can be that, thriving and life is good. Okay, so I'm going to have to look up that saying. I really don't know what it means. So I just heard it in the pink. So I'm guessing from the energy that it's something really positive. But I'll look that up there first after this reading. Now we do have the Sun card, but it's in the resistance position. So it can indicate that a lot of you have kind of been like a bit of a homebody or in a bit of a hermit mode, as it were. Because we have home energy here, and the Sun card is to not really get out there or be seen. So a lot of you, there's this desire to get a little bit more out there in the sun, perhaps, but it may not be that you just want to get in the sun. It just feels like you may be identifying things that are draining your energy, whether that's people, whether that's circumstances, environments. You're kind of looking at your health and your energy levels, because these are two energy cards and they're both in the resistance position. So it can indicate that right now you feel that you're either not motivated or not inspired or excited by something because you have so much on your plate to do. But I mean, for some of you, it could be that you're busy right now so that you can take a vacation, or that you can be a little bit more nomadic at the end of the year, or maybe even in 2025. It feels like you're getting everything done now here, but with the Sun card, it will go into the upright, which means that there is joy, there is flourishing, there is positivity. It can also indicate this is the raw energy that you want to tap into, that passionate side of yourself, to romance your life a little bit more, to seek your passions, to explore your passions, because this is a card of adventure, of releasing that wild soul within you, because it is within you. It has lain dormant perhaps, but I definitely see you leading with your passions. You're someone who's very creative, you're warm, generous, very flamboyant at times. I'm getting the energy of an ambivert. Okay, so it can be that at times you like to be out there in the mix doing things and really involved and integrated, and then it's like overstimulated, not so much, want to go home, need to be by yourself, recharge your batteries. So I'm getting this sense of needing to find balance in that. Okay, now the Sun card can also be that you've been in a period of driving out the old. You've been releasing the past, and sometimes that can make us feel like we're weighed down by the history of the past. 10 of Pentacles can be a history card as well, and it's you cathartically allowing things to pass and process so that you recognize it no longer has any control over your future happiness. Our past, it shapes who we are and how we conduct ourselves in the world, or how we react to circumstances. And I feel like a lot of you are shining a light on your past to identify who you are, and especially being a product of your circumstances, which we all are. You have that High Priestess energy here, which indicates a lot of you are in a period of reprogramming certain reactions or triggers so that you can release and not feel beholden to those experiences anymore. But I definitely see a period of intense growth and awakening here. I feel like you're going to have more energy. Some of you are just learning more about yourself, so you've gone inwards, and this will actually influence your outside circumstances. So again, I'm being given this energy of what's inside influencing outside. So what's in your mind, in your body, your soul, it's influencing the outside energy. So the more positive you are, and this is easier said than done, you're going to attract more things to be positive for. So I feel like you are kind of like building a sense of security, but at the same time, you are not putting pressure on yourself. You're allowing things to flow towards you, because I feel you've done a lot of the hard work and set up a foundation already that you can now build upon. And this is in terms of finances as well as your personal development, because I feel a lot of you are focused on health at this time, and a lot of you, the main priority is energy levels. So for some of you, because we have such high energy, you may feel that you have either a vitamin deficiency or a hormonal kind of related issue right now that you're looking into. For some of you, and this is not all of you, of course, I'm getting a sense, because we have two very hot cards in the resistance position, some of you could be on the verge of perimenopause, for example, and you may be noticing that your body is changing. Some of you also, whether you're going through perimenopause or menopause in general, it may not be the case for you. It could be that you are looking at your metabolism and how it's changing. So again, it's not specific to menopause. It could be that you're looking at metabolism and how it is slowing down in some way. So you just may be trying to identify new ways of exercising, or even diet related focus, so that you can make sure that you increase opportunity for your metabolism to get back on track. For example, I'm seeing like a pineapple ring in the water right now, so maybe pineapple actually helps increase metabolism. I'm not sure, I'm not a dietitian, so please always get the right advice when it comes to your health from a health practitioner who is qualified to give that advice. With the Emperor energy, I see a lot of you looking at advice. And some of you may have even thought about going to like a therapist or some sort of practitioner that can help you with whatever it is you feel you need a little bit of a boost in, because these are two boost cards. So it can indicate that you're looking into that right now. It could also be that you're looking online, getting lots of information. This is a card of sourcing information about how to best run your life or have optimum levels of energy. And it can also be that you're exploring ideas right now in order to get the best out of life, because this is a card of adventure. This is a card of travel. It's a card of being very goal oriented. But this card also indicates that you don't want to be distracted, okay? And I feel that some of you go off grid in order to focus on things to change your life, and you may be doing something under the radar right now in order to take charge of your life, and you're not going to really reveal it with that Sun card until you feel ready. So this could be a project, could be a personal development project, could also be, you managing stress levels and health related endeavors, paying close attention to your mental health there as well, because of those cerebral cards at the end of your reading. But ultimately, I see a lot of you also looking at triggers and sort of rash responses. And because I had that image of a person fencing, if there's someone who pushes your buttons or is trying to provoke a knee-jerk reaction from you in any area of your life, I feel like you're trying to really catch it and kind of temper it. Of course, you're going to give your honest, direct response, but I feel like you don't want to give any knee-jerk reactions or have any impulsive behavior, because ultimately that's raising your cortisol levels and making you feel stressed. So I feel a lot of you are looking at that right now as well, which is actually very mature and also going to be very healthy for you in the long run. Now also, this card can connect to foreign travel. So some of you, it could be that you're thinking of a big vacation, for example, but a lot of you may be thinking about where you belong in the world. If you are thinking about migrating, whether that's a business or whether that's yourself or retiring overseas, a lot of you are not wanting to be rash or sort of impulsive in that decision. And I feel, you may be contemplating, because these cards are very kind of logical. Okay, so it can be that you are making an informed decision by getting all the facts first before you launch yourself into something that is life-changing. And I feel like you're making the right decision because you are making, of course, an informed decision. You're getting all the facts first. Now we do have night owl and we have nightmare. Now, of course, if you are someone who is going through perimenopause or the menopause, it could be that you're having problems sleeping, and you may be looking into something that can help you with that, or at least talking to a practitioner who can advise you on that there as well. So if you have diminished sleep, it could be hormonal related as well. It doesn't have to be menopause, as I said earlier, but I'm just mentioning it for those who are suffering with some, strong symptoms there. But also it could be that, I feel a lot of you with a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So if you're searching for facts about the world and what's going on in the world, sometimes it can breed a bit of fear about what is to come. And it's really important to recognize that there are things that we can change in our immediate circumstances, and there are things that we cannot change. Okay, but as a collective, we can change vibrations, and we can try to raise our vibrations and be more positive, and that actually will affect the world. Energy affects energy. So I'm seeing right now, they look like clementines or oranges next to each other, and one orange has a bit of mold on it, okay? And the other oranges are absolutely fine. But because this moldy orange is about that much apart from the other orange, I'm seeing that over a short period of time, that mold, or that, yes, blue mold on that orange, it transfers to the next one, and then it will transfer to the next one. So it's an indication that everything gets transferred, energy transfers, and I'm just seeing that you tapping into your vibration of trying to be as positive as possible. And again, easier said than done. We all get stressed or we get triggered sometimes. I feel like you're realizing that you can affect your immediate circumstances with your energy, and of course the world at large. And if we all came together collectively and really sort of meditated for peace, for example, or kept peace in our hearts for the world at large, we could transfer that energy to shift some occurrences. Maybe I'm just being idealistic and hoping for a better day, but I do see that there are positive things to come, but there's always going to be something negative, always. There is an opposite for everything that we experience in life, which I feel is important for you to recognize, that if you can do something about it in your immediate circumstances, then take action and do it. But if you cannot do something in your circumstances, then do not transfer your energy into worry, because that is wasted energy, and I feel it's important that you could channel it into something more productive for you to enjoy your time on this planet. Remember, we're also here to explore and enjoy, and of course, there is a structure in place where we must all work as well and pay taxes and all of those things. So whoever created that structure was very clever indeed, but the rest of us are beholden to it. We have to remember in all of that we are a human being and not just a human doing. So I feel this is a grounded energy for you to remind yourself of as you walk through life. Now it says here, there are lessons being offered to you, wisdom, intelligence, and learning. So during this period of stillness, because if you feel like you've been a little bit dormant recently, and if you feel triggered by certain things, this is the universe highlighting a lesson that needs to be learnt, okay? So if you felt that you've been impatient recently, then there's a lesson in that. If you felt that someone or something is triggering you, and anger, remember, anger is a product of someone else's actions where they have crossed a boundary and we feel it is unacceptable. Expressing that it is unacceptable will help take charge of the situation, but if we hold on to anger, we are only hurting ourselves. And I feel these are the lessons we must learn as we walk through life. And again, anger is actually a healthy emotion. It helps us measure our body and how we're feeling about our circumstances. Anger means we feel frustrated in a situation where we either feel that a person has crossed a boundary, or we feel something isn't going the way that we hoped for, and we must challenge it and change it, because the only way to dissipate that is to transform. So I feel a lot of you are taking that wisdom and that learning and transforming your life, okay? Now, we also have nightmare here, and it says, don't let fear rob you of your power. And you're starting off with the most powerful card in the whole deck, which is the Emperor energy, which means that you are in a very powerful position indeed. So do remember your sovereignty, do remember your crown. and remember your power of manifestation. But I do see, it says here, haunted, fear, challenges, and courage. And if you feel like you're trying to accomplish some monumental feat in your world, whether it's to relocate abroad, but you don't know how to do it just yet, trust the process of the universe. Visualize what you want, take one step towards it, and suddenly it's happening for you. If you're trying to launch your own business and you feel a bit daunted about the process, remember, just take one step towards your goal and the universe will take 10 steps towards you. For some of you, if it's you want to get out there and meet new people, have new adventures, or, be inspired in life, I definitely see it's you taking that one step and realizing that anything is possible and you shall see things sort of come to light. I mean, this is your outcome energy, but this is the overall outcome because anything that's in the resistance position goes into the upright. So this means a very exciting time ahead, you leading with your passions, being inspired, you being adventurous. This is you kind of like being a little bit more spontaneous in your life, and the Sun card indicates that you are building strong friendships. Things will be thriving and flourishing. I mean, some of you may have felt a little bit isolated in your circumstances. It can feel lonely at the top, especially if you are successfully managing your life day to day. It doesn't mean that you have to be like the CEO of a company, or doesn't have to be that you are like running a country, for example. It can be that you are keeping your life running smoothly. And if you're a parent, for example, you know how important that is because things can get chaotic from time to time. So I feel it's important to give yourself a bit of a break and not put so much pressure on yourself, because I feel like you're doing a really awesome job, okay? Now, your final cards here, we have the Cosmos, which is connected. It's beyond the Judgment card and the World card. It's connected to, this sense of opportunity. And I feel you're learning that everything has a time. I'm being given a song. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Now, this song is really interesting. A couple of days ago, I myself just randomly started singing this song and I couldn't stop. And eventually I did stop a couple of days ago, and I haven't sung it since, but it's just come up in the reading for you right now. And it's like, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be, I think it's, will I be pretty? Will I be rich? You'll have to wait and see. So, Que Sera, that's it. That's the song. And it really connects to this energy. Everything has divine timing. What will be, will be. And I feel a lot of you are coming to terms with that fact in your life, that everything is changeable. Everything can change, but also you are in control of, like, I would say 99.9% of the changes that you are making in your life. And I feel opportunities are opening up for you. I feel like you're taking charge of your time, most importantly, so that you can actually give more time to spiritual wisdom, to your higher self. Because I feel a lot of you are being called to be still for a reason, to know more about yourself and know more about what it is that brings you joy. Because the world, whilst it is a bit of a crazy place right now, I feel it's put a lot of pressure on people to be doing something. I don't know if you heard that massive knock there. It's like confirmation. And I feel sometimes we have to take stock of things and take a pause in order to go a little bit deeper. And there's a major ripple effect happening in your life about thoughts right now. Thoughts become things. The more negative you are about something, I feel like you're going to notice more things to be negative about. So for example, if you wake up in the morning and you get out of bed and you stub your toe and you're like, oh, and you get really like frustrated about it and you think, well, that's just my luck. Bad things always happen to me and I can't believe it. I'm so clumsy. And you start your day off like that. That's put a ripple effect out into the universe. And then you may notice that someone like in the car kind of cuts you up, and you're like, what? And you get angry about that. And then you get to work and you find that actually someone has given you extra work on your plate and you're like, come on, give me a break. So I feel, sometimes we can be tested in a circumstance and we can address how we respond to that test. Because I feel a lot of you have been tested, and I feel a lot of you are looking at your responses, trying to change your responses to be more positive, to see if you can shift. It's almost like you're exploring it or you're testing it itself as a measure of, can you change the effect? And I feel like you are changing it, okay? Now, the High Priestess is to tap into your sense of belief. It is also to have faith in your circumstances. This card can indicate that some of you feel a little bit in between worlds, you know, wanting to explore and go off and be crazy and wild, but also needing to maintain a certain lifestyle. And it's like, can you have the best of both worlds? And the answer, of course, is yes. And I feel like you're working hard towards accomplishing that. But also, this card can indicate, especially in this period of time that you're in, I feel a lot of you are called to be still, to develop clairvoyance or psychic abilities or gifts, or tap into your inner wisdom or the god or goddess within, you know, to romance your life a little bit more, pay more attention to your own needs, and really tap in to see how you feel. Some of you may also have not really understood how you feel. You may have felt, and I know this sounds really random and weird, some of you may have felt that you've been on autopilot, or that you've felt not completely numb, but almost like when you were younger, because the Emperor is suggesting that you are an old soul, that you have a lot of wisdom, you have this kind of like maturity upon you, and it feels like before you just knew how you felt, or you had time to sort of analyze or tap into your gut instincts. I mean, you're a very instinctual person. You're naturally very gifted, and you have a lot of sensitivity to the environment around you. But it feels like, is there a time for you to tap in to see how you really feel? Are you locating where things actually stood still or stopped or changed your emotions or your energy levels? And you may be looking at that at this time. Also, the High Priestess indicates you're in a period of reprogramming, reviewing, you know, basically looking at the past in order to free yourself up from it so that you can create space for new wonderful things to come into your life. And this is a card of curiosity, you know, putting your thoughts out there. What is possible? It's almost like the what if in the world. What if I did this? What if I pushed that button? What if I thought about this? What if I talked to that person? What if I sent that person an email? What if I told that person I love them? You know, all of the what ifs, and you'll never know until you take that first step. So I feel a lot of you, it's about really locating what it is you want and then taking that first step. And I feel like you're taking loads of steps when it comes to running your life smoothly and structure, but I feel you're curious about other things. You know, the Page of Swords indicates you have an incredible mind. You're very quick thinking, you're shrewd, and I feel this is a card where it indicates that you are deep in thought right now about transforming your life and bringing more fun in there. Some of you may even be thinking about spiritual retreats in order to almost discover a part of yourself that you feel has lain dormant for some time. And some of you are seeking conversations with like-minded people about spirituality, about how hard the world is, about energy levels, about the things that you're going through. So if you're feeling a bit isolated or lonely and you're searching for your soul tribe, I definitely see you being really curious about learning new things. And you may meet new people who are on the same wavelength as you through some sort of course of study. A lot of your study is very philosophical or spiritual in nature, or connected to your belief system. It could also be that you're learning more about your spiritual gifts, tapping into meditation, mindfulness, maybe yoga, Pilates. For some of you, it could be tarot. It could be that you're exploring your psychic abilities, or you're thinking about, you know, how you communicate from a healthy place. So it could be that you're joining groups to really discuss things, debate things. So this is a very prominent card where you are learning to articulate your needs from a healthy place and kind of look at your triggers, but also look at knee-jerk reactions. And I feel a lot of you, very philosophical review of your life to get the best out of life. Now, of course, that may not resonate with everyone, this reading. It is very sort of niche, I guess, but I have to honor the cards that pop out for you all. We have Mermaid and we have Infinity, okay? So it says here, Mermaid. So this is about digging a little bit deeper, tapping into your emotions, okay? And looking at what tempts you as well. Your sort of like temptations, especially when things get triggered, the temptations that you have, the things that you reach for comfort. I feel some of you are looking at that as well. It says, you have many gifts and abilities that may lie dormant below the surface. I mean, that's what this reading's been about. These things that lie beneath the surface that you really want to explore right now and activate. So think of yourself like a bit of a volcano that you're about to erupt, and all this passion and lava is going to flow from you and, forge new landscapes and forge new possibilities and paths for you. It says things you never thought possible because of what you've been told, but trust in the unseen, trust in you. What we believe is what we become. And that's what your whole reading was about. I can't believe it. I got true chills here because sometimes, I got to trust my guides and the cards that I get and go, where is this reading going? But it's going where it's meant to go. This is all about your sense of knowingness, trusting in your visions, believing and receiving, and knowing that your thoughts are becoming things. Everything inside is going to affect your outside circumstances. We also have infinity, which really connects to the cosmos. Possibilities are limitless for you. This is a time for you to basically ask what if and realize that everything is possible, and you will be given a time frame that works on the universe's clock, let's put it that way. So for example, there are many things in my life that I never envisaged for my life. Absolutely not. I was dead set on something happening for my life. I was like, this is the course I'm on. And the universe went, well, what about this? And I was like, oh, let's just be curious. Let's open ourselves up and see what's happening. And then when I decided to open myself up to my spiritual gifts, because most of the time I was very scared of them, and I ran away from them for quite a long time. And then once I was like, you know what, now I'm open. Okay, no fear. Let's just open and see where this path goes. And it's a crazy ride, and it is the best outcome that I could have ever imagined. So I feel it's important for you to realize that we must not limit ourselves with what we feel would just make us feel secure, because in that security sometimes, and we build our own prison in that security, we get everything in place and go, okay, got the apartment or the house, got the family, got the pet, got the car, got all the stuff that we are, as society, kind of told, sold a dream that we should want. And some of us don't want that. Some of us want to live in a forest and live off the land and, be at one with nature. So whatever it is that you feel you have an affinity with, then you will be called to connect to. But it doesn't have to be just that one thing. We can have many purposes, many interests, many experiences, and I feel variety is, of course, the spice of life. And this final card, it says, never limit yourself to the confines of what you think you are. You are an infinite being, and I did mention human being rather than doing. You're destined to experience your desires. Oh my gosh. You are destined to experience your desires. Very important that is mentioned there. And it says, they were put in your heart because you have the power to achieve them. So, maybe I should have just pulled one card and you could have had like a 5-second reading, because this card encompasses everything that is in your reading. You have the power to achieve your desires. Do not limit yourself to one thing, because variety is the spice of life, okay? So I'll leave it there. I'm just going to go and get a trinket for you before I close the reading. Sorry, it is a little bit loud, so I've taken it off the counter because it's doubly loud when I put it on the counter. Now, your final button there is the butterfly. So this is a period where you are spreading your wings to fly. I always mention it, and you're probably bored of me saying it, but when a caterpillar goes into a chrysalis, it dissolves its sense of self. It goes dormant, okay? And maybe that's what you've been going through. And now it's about you rediscovering yourself in a different form, and it's going to free yourself up so that you can, roam wherever. I always love butterflies because, obviously they've got like a path that they want to follow, but they kind of like flitter around, so it's like they're dancing in the air. Like they could take maybe a straight route, they could flap their wings and go straight, but they like to dot all over the place. They like to do a little bit of everything, see a little bit of everything along the way. And I feel that's in your nature to want to do. Oh wow, and we've got the clock there as well, especially since we've got the clock on that card too. So I feel this is about trusting in divine timing. It's also about you being more structured with your time so that you can have the best of both worlds there as well. So I will leave that there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, my beautiful Sagittarians, and love and light.